Welcome! I'm glad you're here. This is D.L. Hughes from VelocityWriting.com, where you learn to write with speed, passion, purpose, and profitability. Hey, I've been listening to writers make excuses for not writing for many years. My role as a teacher and mentor is to try to get them out of that rut. Here's a humorous look at the problem of writer hypochondria, and I hope it makes you smile. If you're new here, please subscribe. Also, click on the bell for notifications. I have expanded bonus content on this topic with links to sources on VelocityWriting.com. See the direct link to the blog post in the YouTube description. Mom, I'm sick. I want to go to school today, but I feel weak. Yeah. You know the old routine. You didn't want to face school because of an exam for which you did not prepare or because of some other stressful situation that you just didn't want to face. You needed a day off, and so you faked a mild illness. Ferris Bueller immortalized this particular bit of flim-flam in detail. He advised young grifters to lick their hands so they appeared clammy. He said that was often enough to convince Mom that you deserved a day off. Here's the big point. What's the difference between a kid who can't face school and a writer who can't face his or her manuscript? Well, there is no difference. Both invent maladies to retreat from reality. When a person repeatedly finds health-related reasons, physical or emotional, to escape facing the day, then we could classify them as being hypochondriacs. Hypochondria is abnormal anxiety about one's health, and it can be a convenient escape pod from the real world. There are the diseases and the cures. Remember, I'm a writer, not a physician. This is writing advice, not medical advice. Mom, I can't write today. My imaginary friend won't come out and play. Well, what is a muse, and why do writers think they need to wait for a muse to speak before they can start making their keyboard clatter? Well, we must hold the ancient Greeks accountable for that. The early Greeks did not understand cognitive brain function, and they believed that creativity was external. A muse was a young woman who whispered into a writer or musician's ear, and a muse kind of like was the source of the poetry, prose, or music, and the writer merely transcribed it. Now, there is a place today that we have set aside to worship muses. It's called a museum. But sadly, many writers worship them everywhere, and that's not good. Things are different in the modern world. We know the only external aspect of the creative process is ensuring that external stimuli are bombarding our brain. Once that happens, the entire creative process takes place inside our brain in a jolt of electrochemical activity. Now, the best writers don't passively wait for whispers. They want inspiration. Inspiration is defined as the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Stimulation comes by talking to people, listening to people, participating in events, and reading or viewing films or videos. The cure for Muse disease is to fill your brain with caffeine and good conversation. Don't go to Starbucks and stare at your computer screen. Instead, meet a friend there and get involved in a lively debate. It need not be about the topic of your writing. Diverse ideas have a way of ricocheting off each other. Mom, I can't write today. My shin bone is bleeding. Chartreuse noodles. When it comes to calling in sick, writers are not above using what I call Munchausen disorder. Many readers will remember the 1988 Monty Python film, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Both the movie and the writing disorder are based on a real person, Hermannius Carl Friedrich von Munchausen, a legendary teller of tall tales. Medical doctors adopted the name Munchausen syndrome to describe people with a severe mental disorder that causes them to create or exaggerate an injury or an illness. Today, this very real disease is called factitious disorder imposed on self, FDIS. There is a more dreadful permutation of this disease called Munchausen by proxy. That's when a parent intentionally causes an illness or injury to a child or another third party to get attention for themselves. Today, this is called factitious disorder imposed on another, FDIA. Now, the convergence between tall tales, a mental disorder, and writers is that all come up with plots that draw inappropriate attention to themselves. In the case of writers, it can be both attention-seeking and victim-playing, a double whammy. Now, when it comes to the writing world, Dan Mallory is a poster boy for Munchausen disorder. He wrote The Woman in the Window under the name of A.J. Finn. He got $1 million for the book and another $1 million for the screen rights. However, according to the 2019 article in New Yorker magazine, Mallory gained favor with employees in the publishing industry where he worked as an editor and with his own publisher by faking diseases. He claimed his mother had cancer and died of it. He said his brother was mentally challenged and also had cystic fibrosis, and he died of it. Mallory claimed for years that he had brain cancer. Well, none of that was true. He faked them at strategic times to enhance his writing career. What is the cure for Munchausen disorder? Don't become a sick child to get your way. Maintain a clear distinction between life in your mind and real life. I think it is simply a matter of be who you are. There is no point in pretending you're a great writer. You can't bestow greatness on yourself, no matter what methods you may use to fake it. Greatness sneaks up on writers when they seek excellence. Mom, I can't write today. I have a pipe twitch that makes me want to shimmy. Sometimes writers cannot stay seated long enough to write. What I call colorectal jitter is an inability to concentrate. It manifests itself as a writer being agitated, restless, and fidgety. A distraction is a part of life, but how do you control it? If you are distracted by your cell phone while driving, you could kill someone or injure yourself. Now, distracted writing may seem more benign, but it can cause the crash of your writing career. Distracted writing can be either accidental or intentional. Accidental distractions is when you're doing online research about the Hindenburg-Zeppelin disaster and you suddenly find yourself buying fuzzy bunny slippers on Amazon. You simply can't believe that a few misguided clicks got you so far off track. Well, in this case, you must discipline yourself to immediately get back to the Hindenburg and buy the bunny slippers outside of writing time. Intentional distractions are often based in the modern affliction known as fear of missing out FOMO. A writer will intentionally leave his or her phone on during writing time and eagerly awaits opportunities to be distracted by a call or an email. Or a writer may seek the dopamine hits that come from checking Facebook or Twitter 100 times a day. Well, these behaviors are addictions. There is a cure for colorectal jitter. Do a personal audit. Keep a record of how much time you spend on each event during your writing time. Focus on writing, but account for the minutes your mind and body stray. Do this for a week, and you'll see where you are betraying yourself. Monitor your work style. Do you like to tackle the small jobs first or the big ones? Well, have a to-do list so you know what you want to accomplish during your writing session. Think of the ability to concentrate as if it were any other skill you learn, like typing. Colorectal jitter can be stress-based, and you want to eliminate stress. Don't jitter away, don't fritter away, don't Twitter away your time. Don't make excuses. You can avoid all three of these writing maladies. Adjust your thinking and change your life. Like everyone else, you have 1,440 minutes each day. It's your responsibility to manage those minutes to reach your writing goals. Have a great writing day.